Hey everybody, it's Lego JANG here with the Hero Factory Summer 2012 combination model, the big one of the series, between Speeda Demon and Stormer XL. So this is pretty much what he looks like completed with the pose that's shown in the manual. And I'll just give you a little spin so you can see what this guy looks like from different angles before I start to really talk about what I think about it. I just want to give you the objective view first. Obviously, this is intended to be a kind of upgraded version of Speeda Demon. And, well, really doesn't use a lot of the Stormer influence as far as like how you got to this point, starting from Speeda Demon. When you look at Stormer XL, the other figure that's used in making this character, there's really not a lot there other than the feet and this stinger tail thing, which has a blaster on the end of it. That's kind of the core of the Stormer influence on this character. It does have a little bit of the XL legs here, but for the most part, this is, to me, looks more like Speeda Demon had a crash in his bike and his parts all flew apart and his bike's parts all flew apart, and he either had help or just somehow managed to get things back together himself, and he combined himself with his bike. At least that's kind of how I look at it based on just what I see here. The building of this thing was not too complicated. It doesn't have many special techniques used in it. You know, the whole ball and socket building system is pretty straightforward, and there's really not a lot of Technic stuff done on here other than for the weapons and this thing on the back. The thing on the back is kind of weird. I'm not sure exactly what they were going for there. I'm assuming that it's supposed to be some sort of propulsion system, like maybe this whole thing spins, but the tail kind of gets in the way. And he does have the little turbine blades here, so I'm hoping that would give him some forward propulsion, but I don't know. It's kind of questionable what's going on with that back there. This blade over here, the double, this definitely looks like a spinning blade sort of setup with the two, and it looks like it's designed to rotate, although the way that it's built, it doesn't actually rotate. You would need to put the axle through one of the holes, which would make it not centered anymore. But I think you could also use like a lightsaber blade as an alternative there that would allow this to actually spin around. But these are his main arms now. Wait, where are they? Yeah, these two. He's got a lot of appendages. This one, you can see, actually has a hand on it. This one does not. And let's take a look at this weapon over here. It's got kind of a claw on it. So this really becomes his hand, his right hand now, is this claw element here. It's kind of like he's grabbing around this double electric sword sort of thing. It's got a couple of these horns on it, or teeth, claw pieces, which is cool looking, except they're supposed to be aligned together, but they're never going to stay aligned together because these parts don't have any friction in them. These arms have just articulation out kind of to the middle of his body. It doesn't articulate beyond here. These are basically his shoulders way out here, kind of XL style. So not a whole lot of range of motion for these, but it's decent, and especially with this side where he's got the extra length. Yeah, still, I mean, for a character who's that large, he still isn't able to really reach forward in front of him very much for having such a large weapon. And then he's got these other things up here, which I don't know exactly what they're supposed to be, other than for looks. I'm assuming that these would be used for attacks also, but they don't really go very far. I actually kind of like the look of them down here for some reason. It kind of meshes in with the angular look of these side pieces over here, the silver on white back here. Kind of like that. It just has a damn aggressive look to it, but in the picture they actually set them up kind of up like this. What they're for, who cares? You know, it's just something to add on. The stinger tail, though, is a pretty interesting and you know, obvious feature of him. Long, doesn't quite fit into the Speeda Demon look as far as his original character, but you know, being a robotic character, you can always just add stuff on that's mechanical. And it's got the full blaster on there, so that gives you an extra attack. So he definitely has a lot of attacks in this form. As you can see, as I move it around, it's a little bit springy, kind of bounces around a little bit. You can see that the motion is actually coming down here mostly from the feet. And let me go ahead and turn this down and look in there a little bit more closely. There we go. You can see it's just the joint between this socket piece and the feet pieces themselves. It's a very heavy character, and he doesn't have any double joints on him. He does use the friction adder joints in a couple of places. He's got them, a few places actually. He's got them down here, he's got them here at the knees, and he's got them at the hips. So all of those spots have the friction adder. So it's a strong enough character, but he has so much weight on him, and especially so much weight on the back. Even with the tail kind of moved forward to help keep the center of gravity from being too far back, all this stuff back here, and part of how the arms actually kind of come back a little bit before they go forward is just makes him want to lean backwards. So you have to lean him forward a little bit, and doesn't stand all that great, but once you find that balance point, it starts to work out. And one other thing I didn't point out here is just this pair of little shockers up here that are just letting electricity out. I think that's more just kind of giving the voltic sort of thing, where he's got electricity just coming out of him just from excess power, like it's just letting out, you know, spilling out some of that excess power that he has in him. And then you could probably see over here on the side a little bit, you could start to see some parts that were sitting on the table, and I will just show you all the parts that are left over between the combination of these two characters when you're done. And there are a lot of parts that are left over. Look at this. Some more extra things here, not even including the hero cores. But then most of Stormer's armor is left over here. One thing I didn't do here intentionally, I didn't put on the stickers on the drone piece. I didn't put the stickers on any of the pieces from Stormer that were supposed to have the stickers, so I left my sticker sheet just alone. I just didn't want to put stickers on another set of armor that I didn't really need to put them on. It'll let me use those for mock making later. And then all these Technic lift arms, there are only a couple of those were used in total, so we've got all these extras. And then of course the tires from Speeda Demon's bike. And then finally, I gotta make some room here because oh wait, there's another bone piece. All of these little Technic pieces, look at this, look at this, look at this, still going. And then there's a few more over here. All this was left over, so there's a lot of stuff left over, and I'm sure that folks out there that have enough time and enough creativity could probably make a whole other character out of just the parts that are left over and still add more stuff to the combination model itself. So lots of stuff left over. I think they could have done a lot more with this character. The character that they did build officially, combining the two together, is large, he's heavy, he's a little bit awkward. Not that bad looking. I think he's got a pretty decent look to him, and goes along with the spiky theme and the green and purple of Speeda Demon with his bike. Very little Stormer influence again, but not one of my favorite combinations of all time, but at least it is something that's recognizable, and it is playable, and it does kind of fit into the story, if you want to think of it as just him coming back after being destroyed one time and being put back together. So that's it for this look at this combination model. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit like if you like the video, or hit thumbs down if you didn't like it. Either way helps me out the same, so I appreciate your feedback. And check out the blog at hero-factory.blogspot.com. Talk to you again soon.